When you're developing and maintaining complex AI systems, it's so easy for valuable context to go sprawling across things like PRs, Slack threads, Google Docs, all kinds of places. So with Remix today, we're going to walk through how to create a project, which will help you centralize all of that context into one place, and then over time, help you track your progress. So before we get started, this is an optional step. We want to connect GitHub, which will allow us to backfill context about previous work done on a project when you're starting one fresh. No worries, if you don't want to do this step now, we can do this later. But if you go to the connectors tab, you'll be able to see where you can find the GitHub to go ahead and connect that. So let's get started on making a project. We're going to navigate over to the projects tab to see all of the projects we already have. If we're going to create a new one, we just click this new project button, which will give us this drop down. Through the rest of this series, I'm going to work on a personal project that we have called VQA Synth as a stand-in for whatever project you're working on. So feel free to substitute this for whatever context you'd like to have. But for today, we're going to say we're working on VQA Synth as a new project we want to track. And I'm going to give a brief description. This is a VQA style data generator for training spatial reasoning models. Just a quick note about what this project will entail. And the cool thing here is I'm going to seed it from the repo that I'm already working on so that I don't lose all of the context that is already really valuable and already stored in the PR history. So since I have my GitHub connected, I'm going to go and select that particular repo. And if you wanted to focus this project on a particular slice of that project, so say this project has context about infrastructure as well as data processing pipelines or model training components. Maybe you only want to focus this project on the data pipeline part. So you can add this context about only focus on this part. Right now, I'm just going to let it capture everything in its history. And also, while I'm at it, I'm going to allow this project to also create a research interest, which will help me track new ideas that are coming out of the archive, out of GitHub, out of Hugging Face, all the places that will help me drive this project forward. So I'm going to leave that checked marked, and I'm going to create this new project. Once you create it, you can further continue to add more context in here. You can see that you can add allowed metrics or evaluation or decision policies, which we'll cover later. What we want to focus right now is the project is extracting the history of the PRs that have been merged into this particular repo. And what the Remix engine will do in the background is create a bunch of experiments off of that context, being able to encapsulate discrete changes in this repo that describe how this project has evolved over time, so that we can use that to help us understand how we should move forward from this point onward when we create new experiments. This will take a couple of minutes at most, so I'm going to give a pause and we'll come back to it in a bit. And we're back. So the extraction process was completed and it found 15 experiments from this particular repo. Save the changes up here and we're good. So if we go back to the projects tab, we'll see now we have this new project that has been created for us, and we can also see all of the extracted experiments. So these are all the discrete changes that our repo evolved through over time, and it was able to point out different things like we switched from Florence to SAM2 at some point for this part of the segmentation pipeline, or we tried R1 reasoning data formatting for a different kind of model training. So this helps us understand how the project has evolved over time to then help us inform what we should try next in the next experiments when we continue developing this project onward.